You don't work with both of them. If you want to give one to somebody else to sit with you, that one's on. Okay. How do I put it? She's on mute right now, so you're good. Got it. So no test. Testing. Can anybody at home hear us? Just ping us on the group, me please. You have to turn up. Test. Excellent. Yeah. Want to say something? No, I don't know. We have the mic and everything, huh? We're gonna go with it tonight. Yeah. All right. Good evening, Nordics fans. Welcome to Parade Arena in Minneapolis, Minnesota, for the showdown between the Hopkins Park Nordics and the Minneapolis Storm. Your beloved Nordics will be in their black sweaters tonight. Minneapolis is in gray. Looking forward to a big-time District 3 showdown here. All right, puck drop. Minneapolis gains possession. Here comes Bria with the steal, carrying it deep into the zone. Head up, poke checked away by Minneapolis, and out they come. Maeve in on the forecheck. Minneapolis carries through the zone. Onside at the blue and carrying it deep in. Losing control of the puck. Hanukkah gets taken down behind the net. Regained possession by Minneapolis, and here's the first shot. Maisie Brown with a big save. And it's cleared away by the Nordics. Maeve with a great pass to Abby across the neutral zone, and offsides Minneapolis after a pick. Face off in the neutral zone. Leslie Dunham with the win. However, Minneapolis somehow able to gain possession. They carry it deep. Puck stolen by the Nordics, and we have a puck battle in the corner. Now with the puck comes Leslie Dunham. Minneapolis turns it over after a back off the net. Scrum in the back. The good girls get the puck. Around the rink wide to Etta. Etta's battling there. Puck gets deep once again. Here comes Charlotte up the wall to Joy. Joy with a nice poke check around. Here she comes through the neutral zone. Watch out, Joy can fly. Here she goes. She's going to win this puck battle. Nope, taken away by Minneapolis. Good angle there on the Minneapolis side. Out of the zone. Nordics gain possession. Here comes Etta with down the wall. A nice little toe drag there. Pass to the front of the net, and Leslie can't quite get a stick on it. Stick check. Pass to the front. Etta with a good opportunity for the Nordics. And out they come. Joy Hurt with a steal at mid-zone, dumps it in, needs to go off for a line change. Here comes Nora Elliott. A lot to play for tonight. This is a big rivalry game for her against her former Minneapolis Storm team. Nice shot on net, wide of the net. Shot on by Annika and saved. Face off to the left of the Minneapolis net. Nora in on the drop. Battle for possession. Nora Stengel back to Hanukkah from the point. Puck is tipped off into the corner, and here comes Minneapolis the other way. Pass misses, and that's going to go to the ice, and that is an icing call on the Minneapolis Storm. Bria on the draw for the Nordics. She wins the puck back to Evie. Evie back to Amelia. Amelia dumps it back off the wall. Evie gains possession, knocks it deep to Bria. Girls battling for the puck. Here comes Minneapolis the other way. Out of the zone, nice bank pass off the wall, and Evie with a great back check to gain possession for the Nordics and break that play up. Can't quite clear the zone. Here comes Amelia behind the net. Pass it to Maeve on the wing board. Amelia with a nice tip again. Feeding the point. You've got to stop feeding the point. Make sure those get to the walls. Maeve up the wall, and that was a good stick play. Puck kind of bouncing around a little bit. Here comes that out of the zone. That in the neutral zone. Trying to pull a little toe drag on the Minneapolis player. Can't quite get it through. Trapped against the wall. Here comes Minneapolis into the zone. Annika with a great play on the defense, and she's got an opportunity to skate here. Lots of open ice. But Annika now in a 1-on-4 situation, but she gets an opportunity to shoot and puts one on net. Nice slow shot again, but steered away to the corner. Minneapolis dumps it out. Annika gains possession again. Sends one across ice for Stengel. Nora back to break up this play. As is Charlotte. Great defense, great recovery. Minneapolis gains possession again. Shot on, and there is the glove of Maisie Brown to smother that puck and lead to a face-off just to Maisie Brown's left. Face-off won by Minneapolis. Pass goes back to the D. They put it on to the middle of the net and broken up by the Nordic defense. Out of the zone. Here comes Minneapolis through center. Gaining the zone. Puck is out. Minneapolis is going to have to regroup. They come. Cora with a good forecheck. Forcing the Minneapolis player back towards their own zone. Retreating out to center ice. She tries to break it into the zone. Nordics break it up. Lose possession, and here comes Minneapolis with speed. Through the neutral zone. Deep into the zone. Very wide. They're off in a line change. So not many players there. Oh, good breakout opportunity there for the Nordics. And Evie can't quite control that puck. And here comes Minneapolis back in again with speed. Great back by the poke check of Charlotte Hansen. Evie with the cross-ice pass. Goes through Bria and to Maeve. And on the stick of Maeve, and she tries to center. Broken up by Minneapolis. Puck is deep in the Minneapolis zone. And they are going to ice. Rebound here, deep in the zone of the Minneapolis team. Puck goes between her legs. Maeve to gain possession. Annika grabs it, throws it towards the middle of the net. Pass to Evie. Evie with a big shot. Saved, and Maeve on the rebound. Can't quite get a stick on it. Annika pinches at the line. Can't quite keep it in, but she does. Annika tripped up in the corner. No call. Evie gains possession. Evie off the wall. Back to Amelia. Amelia fires and blocked by the Minneapolis player. Here comes an opportunity the other way, but Annika is there. Break that play up. Good defense there by the Nordics. Maeve to clear. Puck comes out and crosses back over the line for an offside call. Neutral zone faceoff on Nordic side of the ice. Minneapolis gains possession. They're going to get it across the line and into the zone. Shot on, and Amelia with a good block. That puck goes deep and wide. Rims it around the boards. Minneapolis is there to pick it up. Shot on is blocked by Charlotte. Another shot towards the corner. No harm there. Puck is deep. We've got two Nordics on and one player from Minneapolis. I like those odds. Etta coming away with the puck along the wall. We've got to kind of trap here. Deep in the zone. Okay, and Etta ends up winning that. Good stick by Etta. Here she comes across center ice into the zone. Etta takes a shot on goal. And it's gloved by the Minneapolis goaltender. Face off to the left of Minneapolis net. Leslie on the draw. Little scrum in front. Puck bounced over both sticks. Minneapolis gains possession of that one. Joy with a good forecheck there. A little poke check on to break that play up. Going to hold the zone. See if we can keep this thing deep. Nope. Minneapolis comes out. Across the line, being forced nice and wide. Good play. Big shot on net. Maisie with the big glove. Right where it's supposed to be again. Good save by Maisie Brown. We'll have another face-off in the Nordic zone. Minneapolis gains possession. Tried to center. Nora's there to break that up. Rigs it around the boards. Minneapolis D keeps that zone. Shoots it wide of the net. Deep into their territory. Nora Elliott picks up the puck. Passes it around the ice. Here comes Holly King. Holly King with the puck. Streaking down the wing, and she's going to get it deep. Forrest Angle in on a forecheck. Shot off the back of the net. Here's an opportunity for the Nordics. And puck shot off the back of the net. It came out in front. Weren't quite ready for it. Puck's out of the zone, and here's Amelia to send it back the other way. Holly trying to pass over to Nora Elliott. Right into the skate of the Minneapolis defender. There's a missed pass heading across the ice. See if we can keep that thing inside the zone. Quite. Good physical play there against the wall. Very clean. Nordics dump deep into the zone, and they'll head off for a line change. Holly into forecheck, but here comes Minneapolis out of the zone with speed. Fresh legs on for the Nordics as they carry it into the zone. Forced nice and wide of the net and back out front. And here comes the pass. Evie picks off the pass in front of the net. Heads to Maeve. Maeve up to Bria. Bria streaking through center ice and out against the wall. She's going to send it back to the point. Here's Charlotte with an opportunity. Put it on net. Cora to Bria. Bria back to Amelia. Amelia fires. Blocked by the Minneapolis defender. She regains possession. Minneapolis comes out. 1-on-3, they're going to dump deep for a line change. A lot of collision there back in the back deep in our territory. Puck's back behind the net. Amelia Van Fox up the wing. Trying to get it to Maeve. Maeve able to gain possession. She sends it across the ice to Evie. Evie 1-on-1 with Minneapolis defender. To move on. I beat her. Can't quite do it. Centering pass. Here comes a shot by Leslie. Great save by the Minneapolis goalie. Good possession time. Good passing there by the Nordics. Some pretty good hockey. Let's keep it up, girls. 2:23 to go in the first period. Nordics 1, Minneapolis 0. Storm gain possession. They wrap it around the boards. They come to try and break it out. Good forecheck there by the Nordics. Bury the puck deep, kind of in the zone. Puck comes out to the wing. Here's Amelia with an opportunity to put it on. A fluttering puck, tipped and deflected. Goaltender for Minneapolis making a nice save. Puck out of the zone, and here comes a 3-on-1 the other way from the Minneapolis Storm. And that player takes a shot, and Maisie Brown, of course, with that glove, right where it's supposed to be. Another nice save. Face off to the left of Maisie. Leslie wins that draw. Amelia dumps that thing out of the zone, and here comes the Storm back. That's it. Completely interference. Joy Hurd had an absolute line on that one. And it looks like they are going to call it. Absolutely a holding or interference call, whichever they want to go. Refs went with holding on that one. Otherwise, I think Joy had a great scoring opportunity. Realistically, a decent penalty there on the Storm side. Otherwise, our little ball of hurry was gonna have a good scoring chance. Here's Bria over to Annika. Annika fires one on. Great tip by Holly on net. And saved by the Storm. Gonna have another face-off deep in the Storm zone. 1:37 to go. 1:25 on the power play. Nora on the draw. Little battle in front. Puck's deep in the zone. Evie in there to forecheck. Scrum. Evie in front to Holly, and Holly gets it tipped by the skate of a Minneapolis player, and out they come. 2-on-2 the other way. Minneapolis takes it wide. No harm there. A 2-on-1 battle. Girls, we got to gain possession. Let's go. Here comes Nora. Nora up the wing. Pass to Evie. Evie tips it off the wall. Got another puck race. Can't quite get there, but chipped on right at the stick of Nora Elliott. Nora nice and wide into the zone. She's going to try and gain possession to Evie. Evie trying to center to Holly, and Holly gets hauled down in front of the net. Pass comes up the wall. Annika to pick it off, and we've got an opportunity here. Good shot on net. Puck's laying there for a rebound, but the Storm goalie covers it. Good glove. Good scoring opportunity. Good passing. Good possession. Wholesale line change for both teams. Fresh legs for the final 45 seconds of this period. Pass comes back to Amelia. Amelia fires one on net. Bouncing puck, and the goalie makes a save. Kick just wide of the net. Joy there for the rebound. Sends it out in front, and here comes a spinning shot there by Leslie. Good opportunity. Puck deep into the zone. Got a forecheck, girls. We got a 5-on-4 here. Should have 2 girls on the puck. Leslie doesn't quite save the zone, but here comes Amelia, sending it across ice to Charlotte. Charlotte looking for a pass, sends it to Leslie, and here comes Etta now. Good toe drag by Etta. One move, there's another move. Let's see if she can get one on. Fires the shot on net, saved by the goalie, steered wide. Puck is going to just be buried into the corner for the final few seconds. Good period by the Nordics. 1-0, Hopkins Park over Minneapolis. Any comments you want to make on this first period?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Yeah, turn it off. Just talk. You're going to come over here and talk to the goal scorer's parents. Mr. and Mrs. Nichols, what did you think about that dangle and goal by your daughter?
That was beauty. I think she went to go bar down, but she whiffed and it went on the ice.
Pretty sure the goalie was expecting that too. It looked like she flinched a little bit up high and just kind of fainted her out. Yeah, what do you think, Kai?
She did whiff indeed. The plan was not that. She told us in the car on the way here that she was planning to go bar down. So it was a good adaptation for what the original plan was. I can't wait to see the bar down shot coming. Maybe period 2, maybe period 3.
Love it. Love it, love it. Nothing like a good off-speed pitch, right? Yeah. Let's throw up the batter. All right, second period about to start. This has been our Achilles heel all year. Second period is always difficult because it's a long line change. You can kind of see on the camera the offense and defense switch sides, forwards and D's switch sides, and so on the benches. The line changes for the forwards are very difficult. It's a long line change all the way inside the blue lines, and that's had us trapped a little bit. Let's see how we can handle this and try and shorten up those changes and shorten up those line shifts. Nordics gained possession here to start the period. Here comes Nora deep into the zone of the Minneapolis Storm. Dumps it wide of the net. Holly gives chase. Ooh, got a friendly bounce there out in front to Cora. Cora tries to put one on, steered away by the Storm defender. Trying to get it out of the zone, and we're going to be able to save it. Nora keeps it inside the zone, and we might have a 2-on-1 opportunity. Puck gets neatly tipped away there by the Minneapolis defender. To break that play up at Cora. As the Storm were coming out of the zone with a nice poke check to break up the play, the Storm regained possession, and they're trying to get it deep. It's nice and wide. Amelia giving chase and forcing that defender out to the wall. She's able to steal possession of the puck. Passes up to Holly on the wing. Minneapolis deflects back. Hanukkah rings it around the boards. Kind of buried down here in the zone where I can't really see. I apologize. But here comes Nora out of the zone with speed. Nora coming across the ice, trying to split the defenders. But a neat stick check there to break that play up. This is what I'm talking about. Now we're trapped. We had a couple of players changing, and here comes Minneapolis with a big opportunity. Odd woman rush. Holly feeling tired. She couldn't get off the ice, and she's going to send it the length of the ice so that she can get off and change. Sometimes in long periods, it's okay. You just need to do that. You need to get that change, refresh, and reload. But puck is going to come all the way back down our ice. Off to the right of Maisie Brown. Bria's going to be in here on the draw. Possession won by Minneapolis. Minneapolis back to the point. Shot on goal. Tip. Doesn't quite make it to the net, so that's going to be wide of the zone. Bria able to win that battle with Charlotte for the puck. She's going to try and tip it up the wall to Evie. Bouncing puck. Still a scrum down in the corner there where we can't see very well, but Minneapolis is going to gain possession. Puck gets shot on net. Little bit of a tip towards Maisie, but she is able to control it, cover it, and we're going to have a whistle. Bria again on the draw. Battle won there by the Nordics. Can't quite clear the zone. Opportunity in front, right zone. Shot towards the Nordics net. But shot goes wide. Here's Charlotte ringing it around the boards. Gets back to the Nordic side, but Evie somehow able to come away with this. And Evie right towards the center of the net. And she gets closed off with some decent gap control there by the Minneapolis defender. Can't get a clean shot. Still put it kind of on net. But and we blew a tire. That's going to give Minneapolis an opportunity. Puck goes wide, trying to center the pass, but Charlotte with a great stick again. Puck wide of the net, back behind. Here's Amelia trying to ring it around the zone. Minneapolis gaining possession. Deep into the zone. Looking for a player out in front. Can't quite find anybody yet. Drops it off for the D. Shot gets sent all the way on net. Somehow got all the way through everything. Maisie Brown with the save, and another glove save there. Here's the third save, and the fourth save, and a fifth save. Maisie Brown, just an absolute wall back there. What a sequence of saves there by our goaltender. Long zone, we're trapped. This is, again, what I was talking about before. Oh, and there was going to be a penalty. Evie's going to go. Turns into a very, very long shift when you can't get off the ice. It often leads to some lazy penalties like that one. Sticks get a little bit lazy. I just called it a lazy penalty. What else should I call it? Yeah, no, I was very clean on that one. I know. Mom won't talk. Here's Annika back in our zone. We are short-handed. The Nordics are down 4 against 5 here on the power play advantage for Minneapolis. Good play by Leslie to clear the zone. Tips it off of a Minneapolis defender, and that's going to go all the way down the ice. So going to kill a good amount of time. See if we can gain zone. Leslie with a great forecheck there. Poking that puck away. We'll keep it down there and let them dink around all they want. Charlotte with a good poke, or a good pinch at the line. Gets it deep yet again. We've killed 1 minute of this power play already. Or 1 minute to go, excuse me, half a minute. Here comes Minneapolis through the zone and speed. Carried wide, Annika gives chase and keeps her wide. Does not offer an opportunity out of the zone. Great play there by Annika to keep her nice and wide and give her no shot. There's a shot on net with a bouncing puck and a tip. And yet again, Maisie Brown is able to smother it. "35 seconds remain on the penalty to Evie Pitzel." And here is the face-off deep in our zone. Minneapolis gains possession behind the net. They're going to send it out to the point. Point shot on net. Maisie Brown smothers it yet again. Nora back in for the draw, just to the left of Maisie. Face-off won there by the Nordics. However, Minneapolis able to gain possession and get a shot on net. That puck is going to be cleared finally out of the zone by Charlotte all the way down the ice, and we're going to have another icing call. Burned a little bit of time off the clock. It's good. But back into our territory. Same unit still out for the Nordics. Nora on the draw. Bouncing puck off the draw. Minneapolis able to hold the line, keep that puck in the zone, but here comes an opportunity for the Nordics. 2-on-1. Nora Elliott able to take it nice and wide with a shot. Good save by the Minneapolis goaltender. Nora looking 5-hole there, and here comes a break the other way. Broken up thus far by Amelia. The Minneapolis able to get that thing deep into the zone. Cora Sangle looks to turn up the ice. Her pass across the ice to Nora, just a little bit out in front of Nora, and goes rink wide. So Minneapolis able to regain possession. That one is sent down the length of the ice, and we're going to have another icing call. That one is helpful for us. We're able to get a fresh set of legs on the ice. Get a new unit out there. See if we can turn this period around. We finished that first period with shots on goal at 12-6 in our favor. Right now it is 14-13 in favor of Minneapolis after that long power play. There's a chip on net off the draw by Annika. Puck is smothered by the Minneapolis goalie. We're going to have another face-off deep in their zone. 3 on the draw. Puck is won back to the Nordic side. Annika's shot is deflected and tipped. Down deep into the zone. Amelia trying to pinch again, and she does. A good job to gain possession. She gains the zone deep. May have given chase as that puck rings around the wall. Annika saves the zone on the far side. Still holding the zone. Bria back to cover, and she's set in 2. Here comes Minneapolis down the wall, but it's a 1-on-2. Evie trying to force her wide. Shot on goal, though. Maisie Brown right there for the save. Big rebound in front. Another opportunity. We can't quite clear. Bria battling for the puck, and she's going to ring it around the other way. Annika's going to have an opportunity. Maybe a little space. Nope, that's picked off. Maeve there on the puck. Annika looking cross ice to Evie. Evie gains possession of the puck. She is going to lose it right at the blue line. Good pinch there. Good step up there by the Minneapolis D to regain possession. Puck's being sent rink wide. Annika using her body well there to wall off that Minneapolis defender. Although somehow they come out with the puck with an opportunity right in front. Shot on, save, and the rebound is also smothered by Maisie. Face off deep in our zone. Leslie on the draw. Minneapolis gains possession. Shot out to the point. Puck just doesn't quite find Joy's stick. Just kind of slides just off to the side of it. Now we've got a strum down here on the wall where, again, we can't quite see. Minneapolis dumps that one deep. Leslie's going to gain possession of that puck, though. Trying to send it up the wall to Etta. Can't quite get there. Puck's back behind our net. Charlotte on it. A couple of Minneapolis players there as well. Here comes Minneapolis with possession. Leslie with a great move to stop the Minneapolis player from gaining possession. Here comes Charlotte now up the wall. Pass comes out to center. Minneapolis cross-size pass there. Nice play at the blue line there to work their way around Joy a little bit. Joy is able to recover and make that play. Puck comes out of the zone, back into the neutral zone territory. Minneapolis dumping it in, but they are well offside. So that will result in a whistle and a face-off out in the neutral zone. Nora on the draw. Minneapolis gaining possession. Here comes a shooting opportunity. Maisie's glove is right there to deflect that puck off into the corner. Got another battle down in the far zone. Puck's out to the point. Trying to collapse on it. Blocked shot in front of the net by Annika. And here comes Annika looking, her eyes up. Good move on the Minneapolis forecheck. Cannot clear. Orasangle trying to get it out. Nora trying to get it out. We got a bouncing puck all over the place today. Shot on goal on Maisie, and Maisie steers it into the corner. Great rebound control there by Maisie. Another centering pass in front, and here comes another opportunity for Minneapolis. And a big scrum, but Maisie is there to smother any opportunity that the Storm have. Nora on the draw again. Minneapolis gains possession. They send it back to the point. Shot from the point. Tip. Big save by Maisie yet again. Annika with a pass up to Holly on the wall. Holly loses control of the puck, and Minneapolis gains the zone again. Minneapolis with a centering pass right across and a wide open opportunity, but Maisie Brown, no surprise, was there. Perfect positioning to make that save. Maisie Brown getting a lot of action and a lot of exercise here in this second period. Need some kind of a spark here to turn this one around. Bria to Amelia. Amelia trying to get it up the wall. Nordics can't quite gain possession. Bria with puck. She's spinning the corner and she blows a tire. Still able to kind of recover. Puck battle there. We got a 2-on-1. We should come out with it. Amelia trying to get it up the wall. Can't quite do it. Here comes Bria. Bria back behind our net. Looks up the side, trying to get it to Maeve. Dump back in the zone. Here's Bria again. Maeve off the wall to herself. Here she comes across the zone with speed, trying to look across the ice to Evie, but picked off by the Minneapolis defender at center ice. Back into our zone. There's Amelia Fox-Energon sending it across the ice. Mine, but that's okay. Minneapolis into the zone with speed. Shot on net. Maisie able to steer that one away out to the corner. Here comes Maeve again. Maeve looking up the ice, trying to get it out of the zone. She can't quite clear. Saved at the line. Still bouncing right out here by the zone. Trying to clear the zone, and we can't. And here's Minneapolis with a shot again. That one goes wide. Deep into the zone. Evie Pitzel gaining possession. Trying to clear it. She can't either. Minneapolis defenders are holding the line extremely well. There's Amelia trying to get it out, and here comes Leslie now. Leslie's going to win the zone. Leslie dumps it in off the wall. I don't know how that's not a penalty. Oh, there it is. Okay, they're calling it. It's water. It's not a big deal. Please leave it. Yeah. All right, we're going to have that vaunted Nordics power play here coming up in the next minute and a half. Let's see if we can use this to turn this period around. It's been a long one. been able to escape without a goal, getting handily outshot and dominated in possession. So we gain possession here, and here's Annika with another chance with a shot on. That puck's going to get deflected wide. Ada battling for it. Minneapolis gains possession, and here they come. 2-on-2 right through the neutral zone. Into the zone with speed, and she's going to just kind of throw it across the ice into the zone, and Nordics should gain possession there. Let's see if we can get it out of the zone. Puck is chipped out, and here comes Etta. Etta up the wall. Oh, puck bounces off of her stick. She just can't quite gain possession of that, but that one's going to get thrown in deep. So here comes Annika. Annika with her eyes up, taking a look, skating the ice, and she's going to skate it. Little speed through the neutral zone. Here she comes now, beats one break, beats two, and here she comes again. An opportunity, shot on, save, and the rebound is laying right there, and the whistle is blown. Breaking up that play for the Nordics. Good opportunity, good possession. We're going to have a face-off in Minneapolis zone. Nora on the draw. She wins that back to Holly. Holly wins that pass back to our defense, but no one there. Split the defenders. Here comes Cora across the line. Gaining possession into the zone. Trying to send it deep to Holly. Holly attempting a centering pass, and that one is picked off by Minneapolis. Nora with a centering pass. Puck is laid right in front with an opportunity. Here's Charlotte. Puck comes out. Shot on net. Tip just wide of the net. Good opportunity there. We're going to gain another one here. Nora with the chance. Can she get it around? Play. Puck goes deep, right on the stick of Holly King. Holly trying to center for Cora, and she can't quite sneak it through the Minneapolis D. Minneapolis back at full strength. Here they come out to center. Little slip deep there on Nora. They're coming right through the zone. She shoots it on net, and Maisie steers it wide. Holly coming out of the zone. Tipped by a Minneapolis defender. She's able to clear. Regained by the Minneapolis Storm. As they come in across the wall, they're onside. So 1-on-3, and there's a shot at Maisie Brown. And right into the glove of our goaltender, Maisie Brown. .227 to go in our Achilles heel of a period. Let's try to escape this one, Nordics. Battling along the wall. Here it is in deep. Minneapolis deep into the corner. Puck comes out front. Shot goes nice and high and wide. Storm good chase. They're able to keep it into the zone. But Bria breaks up the play, trying to center it out in front. She comes out of the zone with speed. Trying to center it up to Evie Pitzel coming through the middle. Storm defense is able to break that play up, and they dump it in deep. Here comes Amelia back out. Chipping that pass up towards the line. Minneapolis regain. Missed a little bit of dangle action going on. Puck is a scrum in front of the net. Maisie was able to steer that one away yet again. Minneapolis deep in the zone. They try a centering pass, and that one is tipped into the corner by the Nordics. Centering pass out front again. Amelia Hunker is there this time. Chips that one up the wall. Cannot quite get it out. We just can't quite get it past these Minneapolis defenders at the line. Minneapolis coming back into the zone again. That play is broken up by Evie. Evie trying to get it to Bria, and that puck is fluttering and fluttered kind of over the stick, but Minneapolis brings it in offside. Neutral zone face-off. Won by the Storm. They try to push it forward. That puck's clear back out of the zone. But here comes Minneapolis back in. Down the left wing wall. Annika there to head that one off as she came into the zone. Puck is buried in the corner. We've got a little battle. A little physical play down there, which we like to see. Puck's rimmed around the boards. Minneapolis able to save. Centering puck in front of the net. Tipped away by Leslie into the corner. There's Amelia and Leslie battling for it. She sends it around to Annika. Annika with a centering pass to Joy. Joy tips towards Leslie. Trying to clear the zone and can't. This blue line play by the Minneapolis D has been exceptional during this period. We just cannot quite clear the zone. Minneapolis again with the centering pass. Annika is able to steer that one wide. Here comes Leslie back around her own net, and she's going to try and pass it back around the other way and flex off the net. Almost an opportunity there for the bad guys, but able to dodge a bullet. Puck is dumped back in by Minneapolis, and that is going to signal the end of the second period. Well, all I can say about that one is we survived. It was a dominant period by the Minneapolis Storm. Nordics were able to survive the wave, mostly thanks to the stalwart efforts of Maisie Brown. Excellent positioning, excellent glove. No surprise to a lot of us that have watched her for a long time. But needs more help. Got to get some offense and turn this puck the other way. Coach Amber over there with some final words of wisdom here for our girls. Let's get a good third period going here. Center ice face-off to start the third. 15 minutes remaining in this one. Nordics 1, Storm 0. Face-off is kind of a battle for possession. See who gains it. Minneapolis and Hopkins Park both battling. Nora comes away with that puck, and she's going to get it deep into the zone. Smart play by Nora to battle it deep. We need to get a good forecheck and try and gain possession. We do. Holly passes it up the wall to Amelia Vandergon, who's going to put a shot on net, tipped in front of the net and save. Steered away by the Minneapolis goaltender, and they will break out. Passes banked off of the wall, and we're going to have a puck race here, and Minneapolis is going to win it. They gain possession deep, trying to center. Broken up by the Nordics D. There's Holly sending it across ice to Cora. Cora may have an opportunity, but a great stick check there by the Minneapolis defender to break up what could have been a 2-on-0 opportunity. Puck is back deep into our zone. Nora gains possession, rims it around. Cora giving chase. Minneapolis defender, surprise, surprise, keeps it in the zone. Here's Holly up the wing, trying to look for Nora across the ice. That pass is broken up. And here comes Real Cora with a great play to pick off a pass, and she's going to have a scoring opportunity here. Trying to center it to Holly, and Holly puck just flutters over her stick with the centering pass. Gets off the Minneapolis player's skate and nearly into the back of the Minneapolis net, but a great pad save by the goaltender. And here comes Minneapolis back the other way. Good breakout pass on the wall. And that ends up right onto the stick of Amelia Hunker. Amelia Hunker dumps it back deep into the zone. Forecheck for your Hopkins Park Nordics. Bria and Maeve are able to gain possession. That puck is going to get back to the point. Here comes Annika with a great opportunity. She fires a nice shot. Low and on net. Steered wide of the net by the Minneapolis goaltender. Evie with possession now. Trying to get it to Maeve. And Maeve with an opportunity in front, and she shoots it just wide. Trying to make a centering pass and cannot quite get it through. Off the skate, Evie gaining possession. Evie and Bria playing a little bit of passing game in the corner. Bria comes away with it, and she's trying to center it back to Amelia at the point. Pass it back to Amelia at the point. Her shot is tipped high and wide. Annika saves the zone. But Minneapolis is going to give chase. Evie able to tip that, poke check that puck just slightly off the stick. In possession. Here comes another battle, and Evie is dragged down as she gets it deep into the zone. That's okay. Fourth check for Minneapolis and the Nordics and trying to gain possession. Minneapolis trying to get it around the net. They're going to ring it around. And out comes Minneapolis up the wall. 2-on-1 opportunity for the Minneapolis Storm. And a shot on net. And Maisie Brown is able to smother that one yet again for another big save. And a little bit of a bouncy puck today. And we're having a hard time keeping possession of it. Puck is smothered there at the wall by Minneapolis. Another big opportunity in front. Steered away into the corner by the Nordics. Edda trying to gain possession of that one. She's able to chip that one up the wall out to center. Minneapolis regains possession and comes into the zone outside. That faceoff will come out to the neutral zone. Leslie on the draw. She wins that faceoff. We're going to have a puck race over on the far wall. Joy gives chase. Minneapolis is able to get it deep. Charlotte trying to rim that one up the wall, and Minneapolis is going to gain possession. Kind of buried deep in the zone, trying to clear, but Edda is able there to get a stick on it and clear the zone, but she sends it all the way down the ice. We're going to have an icing call. Last period, we couldn't quite clear the zone. This period, we're doing a much better job of that. Sometimes that results in an icing call like this, which is okay. Could use the line change. Switch our unit. Here we go. New group. Minneapolis with a shot from the point. Puck is deflected and just wide of the net. Amelia Hunker up the wall to Holly King. Holly looking center ice for Nora. Nora back to Holly. Holly down the wing. She's going to try and gain possession deep. Kind of steered off by the Minneapolis player, but we're able to gain possession. Holly up front. Into the skate of the Minneapolis defender. Puck's coming out of the zone. But Annika's able to pick that off. And there is Cora back there to steer it off. And now here comes Nora. Nora with an opportunity. Big save in the zone there by Annika. Annika with an opportunity. Shoots it off of the pad of the Minneapolis goaltender. Here's Nora trying to center for Holly. Holly gets hauled down in front of the net too. Minneapolis trying to clear. Cora with the stick on it. Able to. There's Nora with a shot just wide of the net. Good scoring opportunity there on the turnover. Then Minneapolis will dump. Annika Nichols back to give chase. And a good move there to beat one, beat two, beat three. She's beat 4 defenders already, and she's going to have an opportunity to shoot. She puts it on, and it somehow sneaks past the Minneapolis goaltender and in. We have a 2-0 Hopkins Park lead with another goal by Annika Nichols. As you heard in that first period intermission, Annika promised to stay bar down. So we're still waiting for that one for the Hattie. But so far, she's got 2 off-speed pitches that somehow have frozen the goaltender and just beat her with something she wasn't waiting for. Sometimes you just put it on net, girl. Sometimes you just put it on net. All right, Minneapolis able to dump that one deep. Here comes Bria back to retreat. She's up the wall to Maeve. Maeve not able to gain possession. That puck is shot on net. Steered aside by Maisie. Charlotte battling for it along with Evie. Trying to gain possession of that and clear the zone. Puck gets shot on net. And there is Amelia Fox Vandergon. Passing that puck around up to her wing, Maeve. Maeve not quite able to clear. Evie does. Evie able to chip that one off the wall, and she's going to battle up the wall for it. Minneapolis is able to pick that pass off and try and get it out, but somehow Nordics are able to keep that thing inside the zone. Maeve dumping it deep. Evie giving chase. Cuts the defender off, forces her back the other direction. That puck on its way out of the zone. Minneapolis trying to clear it. Bria is there to steer it away and turn it the other way. But Minneapolis regains possession there and across the blue line. Coming in deep onto the left side of the ice And they will dump deep and head off for a change. That gives an opportunity for our Nordics to get out of the zone. Made it across the ice to Ebby. Ebby with a nice little slip move, but you get a stick on it. Chisella gets it across to Bria. Bria fires a shot and blocked by the Minneapolis defender. Here comes Etta firing into the zone with speed. Back to the point. Amelia whiffs on her shots. And that's going to give Minneapolis an opportunity to gain possession, but they are just going to dump. The momentum that shifted in the second period is kind of steered back towards our direction. We like it. Let's keep it going, girls. Let's keep it up. Nordics gain possession. However, Minneapolis able to chip that puck out of the zone. Monica in a battle along the wall here. There's a puck dump deep into our zone. A couple of our Nordic girls on it. Joy comes away with the puck. She's going to try and chip it up the wall. Get that thing out of here. Minneapolis saves the zone. Annika is able to hold it on her stick. Slips it through a couple of skates, and there she goes, trying to center it over or send it out to the out wide Etta. Can't quite connect on that pass. A little bit of a neutral zone scrum going on now. Leslie in a battle, Joy in a battle. Minneapolis emerges, and here comes a scoring opportunity there. Let's see if we can keep. Good shot. Minneapolis player able to finally slip one up over the blocker side of Maisie, right into the upper corner and just under the bar. And finally, Minneapolis is able to solve Maisie Brown on their 31st shot of the game. 31 shots, 1 goal. 2-1 Nordics, 7:35 to go. Battle along the far wall. Here's Amelia trying to chip it out. And we can't clear. Puck is sent on net, and Maisie steers it away. Loose puck, and we kind of look like we don't want it. Minneapolis gaining possession deep. Centering pass, and that's going to go all the way across, but right to the point. Holly out for check. Over there, and a shot on save by Maisie. Big rebound in front, and Nordics are able to clear. Puck is back out to the point. Holly there to pursue. Minneapolis player with a pass right across the center, and another glove save by Maisie Brown. And finally, the Nordics are able to clear. But here comes the storm back the other way. Across the ice with some speed, shoots it on net, and Maisie's able to smother. That should allow us, the Nordics, to finally get a full line change. Get a fresh set of players on there, some fresh legs. See if we can turn this thing back the other way again. Bria on the draw. Wins it over to Annika. Annika back to Bria. Bria deep in our zone. It's a good move at the wall. She's going to be able to come out of the zone with speed here. Got a 3-on-2 opportunity. She's going to cross the line. We're trying to gain possession of the zone. Puck is deep back behind our net. Eyes are up. She's looking around. There's a pass back to Annika or Amelia at the point. Shot is on net. Smothered by the Minneapolis goaltender. That's exactly what we needed. We need to get that puck out of the zone, carry it out. Each time we're trying to rim it out or just kind of chip it out, their defense are there to carry it. So Amelia with another shot. That one's going to go wide of the net. May have given chase on the forecheck. Got Minneapolis trapped deep, and they're going to send it back the other way. Still behind the goal line or below the goal line. Minneapolis trying to carry it out of the zone. Good breakout pass up the wing, and here they come. Minneapolis crosses the red line and just dumps it deep. See if our Nordics can get out of the zone. Amelia rims it around the other side, right to their D. May have given chase as that pass is sent across the ice, or that shot is sent across the ice. Annika now gaining possession, and here she comes. Beats a couple of defenders, and let's see where she goes with this one. It's wide, fires it straight through the goal crease, deep into the zone. Maeve smartly plays it deep into the zone. Evie giving chase on that one, and she's going to get to it, but it's a 1-on-2. So Minneapolis comes out with the puck. Good breakout pass up the wall. Let's see if we can pick that off. Etta is there to pick it off. But puck is able to bounce out. We're going to regain possession. Great retreat there and a regroup. Giving the opportunity here for Etta to come into the zone, and she's going to dump it back behind the Minneapolis net. Trying to clear. Good pinch by Charlotte. Puck is chipped off the wall, though, and they're able to get it out. Oh, and Amelia trying to gain possession. She does, but the fans on the shot. And that gives Minneapolis an opportunity, but Maisie is there to steer it away. Shot on goal yet again, and Maisie smothers. Just need to stop beating their points. Keep beating their points. Leslie wins the draw. Annika attempting to fly the zone, and she can't. That puck is fired on net after a turnover, and Maisie is up to the challenge. Puck rimmed around the wall, and there's another shot on goal. Yet again, steered away by Maisie Brown. Minneapolis retains the zone, dumps it deep. We've got a battle along the wall. Etta is able to get it out of the zone. Sometimes that's just what we need. We got 3 girls getting chased. Let's not all go all at once. Little over pursuit there. This girl can play. She can skate. Carrying it across the blue line, and she's stopped by Annika yet again. Joy is able to chip that one out of the zone. Minneapolis regrouping, and they're going to carry through center. Back into the zone, and Etta is able to keep her wide and force a bit of a turnover. There's a scrum in front of the net. Annika picks that thing up, and she engages and carries it in front of the net. But I think she knows what she's doing. Here she comes across coast to coast from one end of the ice to the other, and she just gets stick checked at the very last second, and there is going to be yet another penalty on the Minneapolis Storm as Annika goes coast to coast with the scoring opportunity. Gets the puck into the corner and gets shoved into the wall. So 3:08 to go. We've got a 1 minute and 30-second power play. We've got a 5-on-4 opportunity here for the Nordics. See if we can end or put this thing away. Minneapolis player trying to shoot the length of the ice. Somehow chips up the ice and oh boy. I don't know. Interference. I am not really sure how they came up with that call. As Charlotte plays the puck and it gets skated over by the Minneapolis player, and somehow they came up with an interference call, even though Charlotte's stick was right on the puck. When you play the puck like that, that should absolutely not be called. So now we're on 4-on-4. Minneapolis with a shot. Tipped. And Maisie Brown up to the challenge with yet another save. Faceoffs in the Nordic zone. Nora on the draw. Won by Minneapolis again. Shot on and blocked by Nora. Let's see if Holly can send her. Oh, Nora streaking down the center of the ice. Holly tried to give her a chance and just couldn't quite get it past the Minneapolis defender. Got a battle on the far wall. Minneapolis trying to hold the zone. There's Amelia. Sends it up the wall towards Nora. Nora with the stick, the poke check. Get it out towards the middle of the ice. Here we come through the neutral zone. Minneapolis through the neutral zone and into our zone. Annika there to break up that play. Here's Holly sending it rink wide for Nora. Nora streaking across the red line and into the blue line, or into the Minneapolis zone. Deep into the zone, trying to get a center pass for Holly. She can't. Trying to wrap around. Back out to the point for Bria. Bria's shot on goal, saved by the Minneapolis goaltender. Here's Nora with another wraparound and a chip in front of the net. No one home, and here comes Minneapolis back on a 1-on-2. Back into the zone. Tries to get a shot on goal, and Bria steers it wide. Oh, Bria blows a tire behind the net. There's Amelia Hunker trying to clear, picked off by Minneapolis yet again. Another scoring opportunity, but Maisie Brown up to the task. Puck stuck deep. A good battle there by Bria. Bria with an excellent shift here for the Nordics. Leslie trying to chip that thing out to center. Minneapolis scares the zone. They hold the zone. And there's a shot on goal. The rebound given right in front. And another Class A opportunity for Minneapolis that Maisie Brown is able to smother. Got 1:16 to go in the game. Minneapolis has pulled their goalie, so it will be a 6-on-5 for the remainder of the game. They win the draw. Shot goes out to the point. It's blocked by our Nordics. The puck is run deep. There goes a shot back to the point, and it clears the zone, splits the defenders, and gets all the way down. We need to gap up on this gal and not let her go. She can skate. Nice job there by Joy and Edit jointly to break up that play, and they're forced to dump it very deep into our zone. Amelia gains possession, rims it around our side, and here's Etta with the puck. Little scrum on the far side. We got too many players over on that side. There's Minneapolis with an opportunity. Can't quite get it through. Lots of players in front in gray. We need to get some more black players in front of the net. There's Leslie trying to clear the zone and can't. Joy out to the point, and she can't quite get a possession on it. And there's Amelia with a great clearance. 17 seconds to go. Minneapolis heading back into the zone. Amelia again. Clearing it wide. Rings it around the board. Smart play by Amelia there onto the stick of Joy. Joy turns it over at the blue line. And here comes another opportunity for Minneapolis. And they are going to just run out of time. And there we have it. Final score. Hopkins Park Nordics 2. Minneapolis Storm 1. Outstanding performance there by Maisie Brown. 44 shots on net and 43 saves. She is your number one star of the game with a very close number 2 being Annika Nichols with 2 goals. That's all we got for tonight from Minneapolis. Drive safe. Snow is on its way. Way to go, Nordics.